I'm not going to tell you where we're going because then
Spell it.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Spell it.
I've been there. I've killed some
Can you
whitetail
spell it?
there.
Can you spell it?
Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan.
Yay!
We've already
See,
got a
and the-
winner,
and the-
folks.
And the group is so.
She may not be
applauding
able
me.
to enunciate, but at least she can spell.
Right. So you're not telling us the town.
I'm not going to tell you where we're
secret
going.
spot.
No, we can't do that because then everybody would go there. And
Wait,
and-
how many hours flight?
Well, no, we
You
don't
tell us
fly.
that. Oh, you don't?
We
You drive.
Well, see, you got to understand, we've got all this gear, all the decoys and the
Right.
guns, and
Right. And you
the-
got to have it all show up. There's that.
exactly.
So how many trailers are you pulling?
We actually take 2 trucks and pull 2 trailers. We've got 1 enclosed trailer with about 40, 50 dozen snow goose full body decoys.
Wow.
Along with all of our gear, our brand new Remington V3 Waterfowl Pro in the safe.
Ooh, that's
Which-
this is beautiful.
Hey, that
Is
brings us
beautiful?
to, hey, we're live on Gun Talk Live.
Oh,
with Ron
hey!
Phillips.
And
Would you
this
look at
is-
that?
And this is what we're getting paid to talk about,
This
right?
is.
So we should probably hit that.
We should probably hit it. I'm here with Jessica Brooks Stevens and Ronnie Phillips of Heartland Waterfowl. And you guys, the season starts in July, right?
We got a brand new season, season 6. We've been with Remington since the very, very beginning.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a wonderful partnership, and our 6th season is coming out on Sportsman's Channel. It will be we're going to be actually airing 5 days a week, but those prime anchor airings are going to be on Tuesdays at 8:30 Eastern time, p.m. Eastern time, and then we're going to be in a waterfowl block with the other waterfowl TV concepts on the network on Saturdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right. So how long have you been an addict?
How long?
A waterfowl addict. How long?
You
how
know,
long have you been?
The waterfowl came into my life personally a little bit later in life. I had grown up in northeast Kansas hunting deer and upland birds, so I've always enjoyed wing shooting. And in the particular part of northeast Kansas at the time that I was being introduced to hunting, the waterfowl wasn't that great, so
Right.
I wasn't exposed to it as unlike a lot of other people. But then it was later in life when I met Logan, my partner, and a few others that kind of introduced me to the sport, that I found a passion for it. I got a good buddy up in Mound City, Missouri. His name's Buck, and my buddy Paul, they introduced me to waterfowl hunting. And so, and since then, it really did become an addiction.
See,
I
told you.
It really is.
Okay, let me tell you. I'll tell you. I could be an addict, but my big deal is I'm a big game hunter.
Okay,
But
yeah.
okay.
waterfowl hunting, you're in the coffin blind, you're waiting, and that thing flings open and the spits fly in and the geese are up here and it's just chaos.
See,
that is crazy.
And this is what I'm thinking, that the waterfowl is better for you, because I don't know how in the world you have ever killed any big game as much as you like to talk, right? So at least with waterfowl hunting, you could actually be out there and making all kinds of noise and killing ducks and geese.
But it's a but that's part of the challenge with big game hunting is, not only taking the animal, but Jessica has to be quiet.
Yes.
So that's a big challenge. I
Right.
mean, it's got to be a challenge, and I think that's one of the best things about waterfowl is that it's social, and the amount of gear that you guys are carrying. You said you're hauling out 2 trailers. And,
Yeah.
and
Well, we got a flatbed
truckloads.
trailer that takes the UTV with us as well, because
Yeah.
sometimes you get in a situation where Logan and I were actually talking this morning about the first couple days that we're going to be up there, they're calling for rain. And if you got a big 20-foot trailer and a big old truck, the chances are of getting out in the middle of the field and setting up on the
Right.
X where the birds are going to be is tough. You're going to leave ruts in the fields. You get potentially stuck. So you take the UTV, pull that off of the flatbed, put all the gear on the
Right.
flatbed, and then take it out there into the field. So
And I can't imagine what it would be like. I mean, hunting waterfowl in May. I mean, that's, to me, again.
last year was the
That's so
first year we did it. It was the
Well,
first
What
time.
are the conditions like, and how would you compare that to, what most of us
Oh,
are
I can
used
tell
to?
you, it's going to be
What do you think?
warmer. I hope.
It's
Yeah, I
a
mean-
little bit warmer. Yeah, I think when we were talking, Logan and I were talking about this coming over here, I think our highs are going to be somewhere in the mid-50s, and
Okay.
the lows will probably be pushing 30 degrees or so. So maybe a little bit warmer than what we would experience when we typically go to Saskatchewan in the first part of October.
Right.
But, it's still Canada, right? And so that weather can change at any moment.
So when we were talking, you called this the reverse migration.
Yes.
I mean, what does that look like? I mean, the birds just.
They fly backwards.
Right, look. Wah, 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 wah.
See what I did
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I see
You
what you
asked
did there.
it.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
did.
I
You
know.
did set yourself
But
up for that.
tons of birds. I mean, is the action? Is it still action packed?
It is action packed. As a matter of fact, it's pretty intense. I mean, if you've ever seen a migrating flock of snow geese.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of them in the sky, right? And basically, you know how it works. Mother Nature basically sets the trend for when these birds begin to migrate. The cold front will come in. They're like, hey, let's get out of here. The water's locked up, and so we're going to go south where we can find some open water. And then as you get towards the March and April's, they start deciding they want to go back to their nesting grounds, their breeding grounds up in the Nunavut area. You know,
I call it Nunavut.
Nunavut.
Yeah.
I say Nunavut.
It used to be called the Northwest Territories, Northern Canada.
Right. Yeah. So they're heading back to the tundra, and you know, last year was our first year doing it. It was tough. It was tougher than we had experienced in like hunting them in October, because you were mainly shooting pairs. Where like in the fall, you're getting these massive swarms of geese just tornadoing down over the decoys. So the reports so far this year have been really good, and it looks like there's been a lot of success up there with the snow geese, and so we're really excited to see how this year pans out.
And I mean, again, this love.
Let's go to this because we could talk hunting all day long, but we got to talk about the gear, and especially the new V3.
Yeah, this gun is absolutely beautiful. We actually got to see it and hold it for the first time at SHOT Show out in Las Vegas, and I say it all the time. It's a really sexy gun. It's just, there's no doubt about it, with the Cerakote barrel, and then you got the oversized charging handle and the release. And one of the things that I like, if I may,
please.
You know, when we're in the fields, you know, we're typically in cold conditions, and so you're always wearing gloves.
Yes.
And the thing that would always happen to me, and it didn't matter which gun it was, I would jam a shell in there, and my glove would get stuck in there, and I'm trying to pull it out, and you know, you're trying to hurry because here comes another bird.
I didn't know that was a thing, because that is me too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
So, I mean, the guys at Remington did a wonderful job just putting this together and thinking about everything that involves waterfowl hunting. And so you can see where they've opened this up a little bit to hopefully rectify that issue.
Yes.
The oversized charging handles.
About this cut out here, this, it's just all like open up. Okay,
cool. It's more of an ergonomic feel too.
Absolutely.
I mean, when I was messing with it, it feels natural.
You're right. And going back to the theme of wearing gloves, the nice thing also is with the oversized safety as well. So now you can feel that much bigger when you are wearing an insulated glove. So it does come, obviously you guys know this, but it comes in a variety of camo patterns. Realtree is one of our sponsors, and we wear Realtree Max 5. This is the Realtree Timber pattern, but this Waterfowl Pro also comes with the Max 5 camo as well.
And one of the better things about it is, because I know there's a lot of companies out there that boast, you know, oversized controls, but these are truly oversized, and I love the paddle. That
paddle is awesome. Yeah. It really is. You know, and some people talk about the 3-inch chamber, because some people were asking me about the new Waterfowl Pro and if it does shoot 3.5s, and it doesn't. Personally, for me, I am a fan of just shooting 3-inch. I don't feel the necessity. Amen. High fives.
High fives all around. You too.
I have no desire to shoot 3.5s. We do just fine shooting 3-inch shells.
For sure.
And
especially when it's nitro steel.
Oh man. Yeah.
Remington nitro steel ammunition, because I'm the ammo gal.
Yes, you
are. So we got to bring that up. I mean, I know
we love it.
You guys shot hypersonic quite a bit.
We did in the beginning, but I got to tell you, if we were to pick one over the other, we're nitro.
What did I tell you?
What
did I tell you?
I mean, think about going back into the day, and I know we're going to talk about the Peters here in just a little bit, but you know, from the time that I got involved in waterfowl hunting and talking to people who were involved in waterfowl hunting before me, the nitro steel was basically the go-to shot. I mean, it is.
That's your bread and butter.
It
right
is.
there.
It really is.
It's the working man's waterfowl ammo. Okay, and girls included in that.
Did you just trademark that?
Did I TM it?
Yeah,
no, no. Everybody can use that, but it really is. I mean, it just works. It's solid, and you know what? I mean, Ronnie, we were talking. Because I'm a hunter, I'm a shooter. I personally feel like Remington does shot shell ammunition better than any other manufacturer. I do. We just know how to do it.
We're so honored and blessed that we were able, in our first season, launching a TV concept, to partner with such a reputable, incredible company like Remington, and it's definitely put us in a position to succeed through and through each year.
Cool. Well,
I mean, it's stuff that you can trust, because you have been doing it just for a little bit.
Well, and let's talk about that.
Oh my God!
Yes.
So how old are you again?
I just read stories that we've been doing it a long time. So.
All right. So we're going to talk about.
No, get that little. We're going to.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Let's talk about Peters. ammunition. So the Peters, the Peters ammunition brand
Yes.
is a very storied
Yes,
brand.
It really is.
No, it really is. And in fact, I was telling you, Kevin, you know, my mom and I, so Barnes Bullets is my history.
Yes.
My mom and I sat in her kitchen a couple of years ago and designed this box. Ammunition is our passion,
Yes.
and I was so proud that Remington let us do this. So you look at this and you say, "Oh, that's Peters Ammunition." You recognize this box. I can look at that smile on his face. But it's a new spin on some old creative.
When this came across my desk, and we were talking about it right before, the first thought I had was my grandfather sitting around,
Right.
you know, in his kitchen, him pulling out the box of Peters Premium Blue, and we were going quail hunting.
Sure.
I mean,
I know.
that was the initial thought out of my mind, and man, it brought chills just to see it come back.
It does my heart good. And that
Yeah.
blue, that beautiful blue shell, I mean, it's so, you just know. But here's the
know.
interesting thing that people don't know, and actually we put this on the back of the box, the history.
Wow, that's
Yes.
cool.
So
Now,
Peters,
we can pick this up on this camera right here.
it was
That camera right
founded by Gresham Moore Peters in 1877. So I mean, Peters, iconic brand in the industry, and they were all about innovation. I mean, Peters did some really, I mean, he was into powder development and of course
Right.
cartridge development. But what a lot of people don't know
Okay.
is that Remington bought Peters out in 1934.
Really?
And
No, I
guess
didn't know that.
Guess why they did that? Eliminate the competition.
They were doing good.
They eliminated the competition, and also it brought a really, you know, innovative product line and technology to
Yes.
Remington. So those Peters shells that we're all our grandpas
Yes.
shot, those were built by Remington.
By Remington. They got it going.
Right.
Now, it brings an interesting question, and especially on the waterfowl front, because you're out there so many days of the year.
Right.
What are you looking for the guys out there? What should a guy pay attention to that obviously this has? I mean, what are you looking for in your shot shells?
That's a really good question.
The waterproofing, obviously.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sealed primer. I mean, that's huge, right? When it comes to water resistant and being waterproof.
The sealed
That's
primer.
probably the most important, I would say.
Yeah.
You know,
But-
we're so spoiled with shooting the
I
nitro, you
know.
don't
You
think
are.
about it, right?
The sealed and then the sealed crimp on the
Yes,
Peter, you
yes.
know, and frankly, all Remington ammunition.
Remington.
The waterfowl, it's sealed primer, sealed crimp, and then the 6-segment crimp is sort of the coup de grace when you're talking about
Yes.
waterfowl shot shells. So, but you know, and again, Ronnie's like, wait a minute, what's the velocity, Jess? I said 1,400 foot per second. He's like,
But
that's
it's-
not high
but
velocity.
it's not high. You're
But
right.
it was back in
That
the
was the
60s.
day.
Yes.
And so for the packaging, people go, oh yeah. So
and you kept the elements, I mean, nostalgic. I
We
mean, we talked
did.
about that, and you kept the elements to it, which I like to see.
because it does your heart good.
It does.
I
absolutely.
look at this box and I see this logo, and it's such a nostalgic look, and I just think, how many waterfowl memories
Oh.
by just looking at this
created by
box
the
were
box,
just
yeah.
created,
I'm
right?
getting chills again.
Exactly. Like anybody who's ever seen or that is watching this now and sees this, and maybe remember these shells.
The
or
Peters duck.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like
Just-
you just start having flashbacks of all these wonderful
Absolutely.
memories that you had with
Makes
your
me
dad or
smile.
your grandfather or whoever it might have been. And I think it's so cool that you guys are bringing this
Thank
back.
It
you.
is.
Yep.
It is.
And hey, Peters packs the power. Has forever. So yeah, we're
It
pretty
does.
proud of it. But anyway,
But before we get off here, you know, I'm going to jump back to the V3 real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
In shotguns, for the guys out there, let's just go back to the question that I asked on the ammo. I mean, what are you looking for when you pick up a shotgun that you have to have in the waterfowl blind?
Aesthetically or just in
No,
general?
I want
Yeah.
functionality.
Yeah, well,
for
the
you.
first thing for me, it's how does it shoulder? I mean,
Mhm.
if I pick up a shotgun, the first thing I'm going to do is shoulder it and do point to aim
Yep.
and see, how does that feel? And I've never shouldered a shotgun that feels so comfortable as this one.
can I interrupt?
Sure.
I would like.
Sure.
Here's, I'd like to, no,
I mean,
because-
no, you can't. I'm
I
still
know,
talking.
But you know what? You bring up a really so. I feel like a lot of people are familiar with the Versamax, and you
Yes,
shot
yes,
the
we did.
Versamax
First
a
couple
lot.
years. Yep. Mhm.
And for me, I mean, there are guys. Have you found this? It's the Versamax or the V3 for you. It's kind of one or
V3
the other.
hands down.
I mean, but there's some people that love that Versamax because
yeah.
it fits them better. It's a totally
Sure,
different gun.
Sure. No,
And
I would definitely agree with that.
And the V3, I think, really, it's I mean, it is venerable. It's a force to be reckoned
it
with.
is.
And for me, this is the gun for me. But it's individual, and like you said,
is.
it's got a shoulder
personal
right.
preference. It is, but I've seen that with our team, and we've got 10, 11 guys on our team.
Okay.
You pick one Versamax or the V3 in
Right.
each other's hands. A majority of the guys are going to pick the V3.
But they're both have
both
the,
great guns.
and they
Oh,
both
yeah.
have the
great guns.
VersaPort
Yeah.
system. So it's the
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
It's
the
the
only
same
difference is the
VersaPort.
3.5 versus the 3.
Right.
Right.
But you talked about some of the other features. Aside from just the shouldering part, I love what they're doing with the oversized charging handle
Yep.
and the paddle there. And I love, as I said before, about the glove. And you know, the original V3 was more of just a well-rounded gun, but
Yeah.
just a wing shooting upland gun, if you will. And
Turkey, I turned
yeah, you
turkeys
could do
with
anything
it.
with
Yeah.
it. This
Love it.
is built and designed for the waterfowl
Yeah.
hunter.
See, when I look at a gun like this, and I'm picking a shotgun, I want durability. I want that gun to be, because waterfowlers, they're horrible on their equipment.
Sure,
I mean,
we
they're
really
are they not?
Oh my God! And you know this again with that VersaPort system. I know a story.
Oh.
The guy ran 15,000 rounds through his shot. I mean, testing.
Wow.
Did not clean it. Hello.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And it was still
Clean 'em,
functioning.
but
I'm
still
not
running.
kidding. VersaPort. I mean,
It's
look,
something.
I'm an 1100 and 1187 gal.
Yeah.
The VersaPort has me coming over.
Sure, it should. I mean, it's a fantastic gun, and I love the fact that they put so much detail into focusing on how, because waterfowl is just a completely different animal. Well,
Yeah.
duh. I guess I just said that, right? But it's a completely different game than say upland bird hunting, right? And so
Right.
they really focused in on what the necessities and needs were for a waterfowl hunter, and they built that
Yeah.
around this gun around that.
Perfect. All right, guys. We're going to be back here in a little bit, but that's Ronnie Phillips, Jessica Brooks Stevens, and I'm KJ, and we'll see you in a bit.